What's up, troopers? We're here with another TFT battle card mini. This one's about destroy enemy base, is secondary objective. Mike, this one is. Some would say that this one is all about destroying the enemy base, and
That's
then
that's what I hear. That's what I
yeah,
hear.
and then for your own base, what are we trying to prevent here?
I mean, I think, you know, protect the base, guys. Don't let the base get blown up. That's the this
We
is
must
this is
protect
like
this house.
yes, this house, our house. This is mini bunker assault, you know? You can think of it like that.
Yeah,
In this house, we protect bunkers.
yeah. I mean, I would reference a DMX Under Armour commercial, but I don't want to age myself, so we're just gonna like push past it.
Oof, I don't even
Uh,
know what commercial you're talking about, so
it's okay. I'll send you the link later.
okay.
But so this one really it's interesting because there's one turn zero choice, which is of course where to put your own base.
There's two turn zero choices, but yes.
Oh, sorry. There's two turn zero choices. Right, because the other choice you have to make is like who are you going to give the bomb token to?
Correct.
And
Both
so
are highly relevant.
both are very important.
Yeah.
But then, unlike with, or I guess maybe similarly to mark targets, where you have this important choice that you make in the beginning, that of course, like the way that you go about playing the objective, of course, matters a ton after that. And let's start with the decision of where to put your own base. We were talking about this earlier, and I think that the conclusion that I sort of came to in chatting with you is that the more mobile that your opponent is, and the more numerous your opponent's units are, the less likely you are that you want to have your base way out in Timbuktu away from where your own guys are going to be, and you're probably actually going to want to keep it close to you. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if your opponent has something like six at clones where they don't have any junk units, and they're also not particularly mobile in the grand scheme of things, except Anakin once. You probably would feel better about having that base like way far away from your stuff to incentivize them having to make a real choice. Is that basically how you would put it?
Generally, yeah, I think you are really looking to if you're putting this in your deck, you are also trying to be the 14 act example in that list generally.
Yeah.
You want to be stretching your opponent out. Like that is the point of this card to some extent. You are not only stretching them out to score this objective, but stretching them out because they have to interact with this objective makes the primary harder to handle.
Right. And so I think that we'll get into the sort of list that really want to take this maybe at the end. But we should talk about the other turn zero decision, which is who do you give the bomb to? The way that I would think about this would be I would give the bomb to my most like I think of a combination of mobility and survivability. Uh, but there's probably something more to it than that. Like how would you put it?
I think generally speaking I think that's a good guideline. I think I would add to it that I would give this to the unit that is most likely to take a point by themselves. What that means is like there are various ways that units can handle one or more other units, right? We've got, I think when I think of destroy enemy base, I think of like Bad Batch, right? Bad Batch can
Mm-hmm.
shoot. Hunter
Yep.
can also like throw a knife. Bad Batch can also potentially contest destroy enemy base at range one in Rebels, right? Um, and so like Bad Batch can move quickly, contest this, and also possibly kill like multiple activations at a time. Other
Yeah.
units that fall into that category are Jedi with Force Push, right? Like
Yep.
if you've got a bomb on a Jedi and you just have to force push a unit off the point to take it, like it's a lot easier. Or if your opponent is defending it with multiple things, it is important that you have to secure the base in addition to contesting it to blow it up, right?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I've got the bomb and I'm here, so it's mine now, right?
It's
You
worth four
actually you
points, but
got
it's a tough 4 points.
yeah, you got to put in the work, right? So
Yeah.
I think units that can take points all by themselves are where I would be looking to put it. Darth Vader comes to mind between Force Push, Vader's Might, and his lightsaber. He should be able to probably complete this on his own most of the time, right?
Yeah. And then, yeah, Operative Luke, Count Dooku, Anakin, like anybody that you would commonly be putting force push on. The one that might be a little bit risky is Yoda because most of the game he's moving pretty slowly.
Yeah, but
But if you time it right, you could burst over there and then like you could do your 1 pip run over there, force push, and take care of business.
it's also an easy entry for him. You can play his 2 pip. If you've got Mind Trick, you suppress a unit off the point, force push a unit off the point, and
Yeah,
maybe kill another one, right? Like,
yeah, that could work.
you don't removing scoring units is you don't have to kill them, you don't have to force push them. Sometimes suppressing them's enough, right?
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
also you could combine. We've talked about ordnance and strafing run. Like you can combine those effects to score this point too. So
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And so we talked about the force push and suppression, and the other like utility play is just if you have a unit that is extremely fast, then you create this situation where your opponent has to sort of respect the fact that your bomb unit could just like choose to, if it's a speeder, for instance, it could choose to triple move and dive onto the point, uh, which that goes to the reason of why it, your opponent, if they were sort of being their own friend, they would have put their base close to the rest of their stuff because um, you really have to respect the fact that all of a sudden that bomber unit could just be there. And that gets multiplied if you're talking about a list that's like a whole bunch of geos and then also 3 staps. Like that whole list can basically be moving halfway across the board in one round, which is why that sort of a list should definitely be putting Destroy Enemy Base in their deck all the time. And so I think that lends it to talking about what are the sort of lists that like this. Definitely, if your whole list is super mobile, then you're going to be able to flex that. Do you think that having a big old force push Jedi is enough to motivate you to put Destroy Enemy Base in, or do you think that's not quite enough for you?
I personally don't think it's enough. I think that you could make the case that that actually is true. The
Yeah,
problem I have with this objective and playing it frequently is that it is a very all or nothing objective. You can, one wrong move and the game is actually over.
yeah,
And I think one of the things that I would caution people in that respect is that if you don't know what you're doing and you are forced into a position where you have to play this secondary, just put your base next to one of your other POIs
yeah.
and but also understand that those two POIs are also now just like they're the game.
Right.
Like you know,
Yeah.
if you ever
It,
lose them, you will lose the game.
yeah, but tell us out there in the comments if like have you played a game where you lost the destroy enemy base points and then you won the game anyway? That would be an impressive feat. It's technically possible. You can tell us in the comments, but yeah, so that's fair. So like having the force push is not quite enough for you, which would mean that you probably want to have like above average mobility if you're putting this in, just because like having the threat of okay, this guy's on this one POI, but on any given turn they could suddenly be on the base. That forces your opponent to either respect it and potentially make their other POIs more vulnerable by the fact that they have to respect it, or they don't respect it, and then you guess what, destroy the enemy base, and then you probably win the game.
Yeah. I think for me it comes down to you can't put this in your deck if you can't reliably protect your own base, wherever it
Yeah.
is, right? Like
Right.
if you
Right.
if you don't feel like you can handle that situation flexibly in any given like primary setup, you know, um, you should probably not be playing this card.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you have anything else on Destroy Enemy Base?
Not really, you know. I think that's it.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. If you like what we're doing here, consider checking out the Patreon. Thank you to Jacob Camp for producing this, and we'll see you on the next TFT mini.